Hello and good morning. Here we are again on another Wednesday class, and I'm Shakura. We're leading the session today, and we're going to work more on the fire element and get in touch with some more of these heart points, or heart protector points actually. So if you'd like to write hi in the chat, let us know where you're from, and Kat will be keeping an eye on it, and she will answer any questions or flag them up for me if there's something you want to share. Okay, so let's start by just checking in with how we're doing. So if it's comfortable, stand up. If not, get comfortable in a seated position. And we're going to do a full body scan as if I'm just getting warmed up, as if you were a photocopier. Imagine going from the top all the way down, and we're just going to check in with how we are today. So closing your eyes and starting from the top, just scanning down. Just notice if there's any areas that feel a bit tight, or you've got tension, any areas that feel a little bit stuck, or maybe some areas that feel like they need more attention. So just scanning down from the top, down through your head, your neck, your shoulders, scanning down through your abdomen, your lower abdomen, hips, top of your legs, your knees, your lower legs, your feet. How do you feel today? And now I'm going to take some easy breaths. And just notice on the inhale, how far does the breath go down? Does it come to the top of your chest, to your lungs? Do you feel the breath all the way down into your abdomen here? Or do you feel it all the way into your lower abdomen? What happens when you breathe in? We're just going to check again. I'm just going to run a quick poll just to see what's happening when you breathe in. So when you breathe in, where does the lowest part of your breath go? Just out of curiosity before we start this session today. Great, okay. So majority in the lower abdomen, so breathing all the way down to the bottom, but a real mix of the upper lungs, the lungs, and the upper abdomen. Okay, so let's see what we can do to get things moving. Right, so we're going to start. I always find it useful just to start with shaking, to really get the energy flowing to all the parts. And any part that you notice that was a bit tight or tense or some holding, we're going to pay particular attention to that area. And we're going to imagine the breath coming all the way down to that space. So if it was your toes that felt a bit tight and tense, then we're going to really, as you're shaking them, we're going to imagine the breath is coming all the way down. The breath is going into all the spaces. So grounding yourself down through your left foot and bringing up your right. I'm just starting with shaking out the toes. Really imagine space coming into your toes. Imagine you're shaking off your skin, shaking off the muscles of the foot. Coming into your ankle. And now we can place the toes down and rotate the ankle just in all the ways. Give it a little stretch as well. Creates more space. Good. Now we're going to shake off the lower leg, the calf muscle, as if we're trying to shake it off the bones, creating more space. And when there's more space, more life, more chi, more blood can flow. Coming up into your upper leg. And obviously these muscles are bigger, so we're going to take bigger motions, rotating, coming into the hip, Giving a shake both ways. And just to really get into this hip joint, we're going to bring your knee up to your chest. And you can do this sitting down or standing, whatever's comfortable. Bring your knee across the body. And then opening it out, creating space on the inside of your hip. And taking some big circles. Again, shaking it out. And you can just notice now, bringing both your feet to the floor. Just notice how one leg feels compared to the other. So this for me feels like a huge tree trunk coming down to the earth. This feels quite weedy. So now, and not much connection with the earth. So it's so interesting just getting the energy, the space in this leg. I already feel more connected to the earth. So I'm going to start on the other side, bringing your weight down into the right foot and starting to shake out the toes on the other leg. Giving more space. Imagine shaking off the skin, shaking off the muscles. And now coming into the ankle, and you can place your toes down and just rotate the ankle. I don't know if you can hear, mine's a little bit crunchy. And now shaking off the lower leg, shaking off the calf. Thinking about space and breath coming all the way down to the lower calf. Coming up into your upper leg, bigger movements. Rotating, giving space into the hip joint. Both ways. Gosh, mine is super clunky. You can bring your knee up to your chest. And again, like I said, you can do this sitting down if it's easier. Now bringing your knee across your body, space in the outer hip, and pulled across to the outside, really opening up this hip joint. Lovely. A few more rotations. Shake it out. I'm just going to shake the other side because it's been still. Okay, and then again, you can just take a moment to see how that feels. So for me, I can already feel my feet opening, feeling more connected to the earth. Okay, now we're going to come into the upper body, and we're just going to create a bit of space in with your chest. So taking your shoulders like a windmill. As one goes forward, the other one goes back. And the other way. Just bring more and more space into your trunk. And something that's so nice to tonify the meridians of the side body is rotating from side to side. Letting your hands flop from one hip to the other. Imagine your vertebrae is like a string of pearls, lifting the head up to the ceiling, creating more space in your vertebrae. So you get the energy moving up and down the spine. Now we're going to come into the hands. So giving the hands of the right hand a shake, the fingers, creating more space. Imagine you're shaking off the skin, off the muscles from the bones. Taking the breath all the way down to your hand. And coming into the lower arm, like a little bit chicken vibes, creating more space. To the upper arm, imagine you're shaking off the muscles. And then coming into the shoulder, again just rotating, big movements. More space. And coming forward, And you're really opening up the sides of the ribs when you're doing this. And again, we can just check in. Can it just feel how one arm feels different to the other? This feels really super alive, and this is a little bit chilly. So let's warm it up. Shaking off your fingers. Thinking about the space, the breath coming all the way down to your hand. And your wrist, give your wrist a good shake. And the lower arm. Coming into your upper arm, any which way that feels good. Any funky movements, and you can really feel it. Coming into the shoulder, and then letting the hand lead. Doing this backstroke. With the left arm. And again, you can really feel space coming into the side of your body. Maybe you can feel your breath being released a little bit more. Just letting out some sighs. This is so good at helping your breath come into all the different areas. And bringing your hand, doing a front stroke with your arm. Rotating forward. Maybe you can feel this coming into your shoulder, taking it easy if it's uncomfortable. And then just shaking off the whole of your body. Letting out any crazy moves that your body feels like doing. Lots and lots and lots of space. And now just bringing some energy into your neck and your head, just giving it a squeeze. Massaging the back, just doing this little motion with your hand. Massaging the back of your neck. Increasing the blood flow to the brain is always helpful. Releasing any tension that you might be holding there. And while we're here, we can just give our shoulders a squeeze. Just check in how they're feeling today. Both sides. And then we can give our head a little squeeze. So you can bring your hands like this or separate and just squeezing the sides of the head around the temples. Just giving a little bit of pressure. Tonifying the meridians of the side of the head. And then pressing down from the top. And just check in with this point that's right at the top of your head. It's like from the highest point. Just pressing down. How does that feel? In Qi Gong, this is where the energy comes down into the body. So it's quite good to make sure this point is open. Sometimes this point feels very full, and that's when the energy is coming up very quickly, rising up through your body. So it's quite good to check in with this point, either having your intention to open it more, or descending Qi or descending energy down through your body. Imagine it coming like a shower down through this point into your body. Lovely. This can really help you feel grounded if you feel like you're getting headaches or the energy is very intense sometimes. Just give yourself this head massage, pressing down, containing this energy. Again, it's amazing how much pressure we can put on our skull. That feels good. Great, and another shake out. Okay, so now we're going to do another quick body scan, again from the top down to the bottom, and just notice if there's any change or any areas feel a bit fuller now, any areas feel a bit more spacious. I can definitely feel my breath coming a little bit lower now that I've moved everything. Okay, wonderful. So now we're just going to check in with your burners, with the 3 burners as we do most weeks. And again, it's just a really wonderful way for us to diagnose what's going on for ourselves and also what we might need more or less of. So just scanning now into this lower burner. How does it feel? If there was a scale like heavy to light, where would it be? Notice it feeling there. Or it might be a colour or a sound. And then coming up to your middle burner, this cauldron, your digestive organs, and checking in, how does it feel? Now coming up to your upper burner, your chest area, your heart and lungs. Just notice how it is. Okay, so you can make a note, but also we're going to, I'm just going to check in with the group just to see where the group generally is at. Which burner do you want to work on most today? So let's just see where the majority of people are. Okay, oh, middle was straight up. Okay, it's balancing out a little bit now. Okay, so mostly, oh, it's changing. Mostly, and it's interesting that it was the one that came up first, was the middle burner. So most people want to work on the middle burner today, few of the lower and a little bit of the upper. But yeah, by far the majority is the middle burner. So obviously this is where the diaphragm is. This is where all your digestive process happens. And it's also a place that we can hold a lot of anxiety. So with Chinese medicine, the stomach is related, the stomach organ, the meridian is related to anxiety and worry. So I don't know if that rings a bell for those people who are feeling like their middle burner needs more work. So do put a thumbs up in the chat if that is you. But we've got some great points today. So as that is the thing that's coming up, I'm going to share it with you now. We have got, share the slides. Okay, yeah, one thumb up. So we've got pericardium 6 and 8. So this is also known as a heart protector meridian. And this is the channel that is, so with the fire element, we've got 4 meridians. So in the middle is the heart. And then we have the heart protector, which goes around the heart. So obviously the heart is the most precious organ, so it does need the most amount of protection. And we've got some wonderful points on the heart protector channel that can support the heart. It also really helps with calming, bringing like a sense of calm to the body, to the mind. And as you'll see here, it's quite a fun point. I'll just show you where the point is. This is Heart Protector 6, and a lot of you might have already come in contact with this one because it is the one that is famous for travel sickness. So it is 3 fingers width above the wrist crease. You will find Heart Protector 6. So it's always your 3 fingers, not anybody else's, your 3 fingers above the inner wrist. There you have such a lovely point. So it's famous for travel sickness because it's so good at treating nausea. So nausea often happens when the Chinese say the liver invades the stomach. So basically the energy is coming up very fast through the body, and the stomach does not like it because the stomach likes to have a nice grounded energy. So when the liver energy is coming up, it affects the stomach, and that's when we have that nausea feeling like that potentially might vomit. So this is meant to be a really wonderful point to help balance this. And as you can see from the slide, that it harmonizes the stomach. So it really brings that balance back. Instead of that up feeling, it brings balance, calms it. It also is amazing as it's connected to the heart meridian. It regulates the heart and it calms the spirit. So this is a really useful point if you are struggling with anxiety, but also on another like a side of it is like if you're feeling a bit manic, that kind of feeling, it's also really wonderful. The other thing that it does is it unbinds the chest. So if you have this very tight or full chest feeling, it's really great for that. So basically with the points, it's often the points that are most distal, so the most furthest away from the actual symptom. They're the points that are really great to use. They're the most powerful. So as we've said before, if you've got a headache, then it's actually points on the feet that can be the most powerful. And as with like things that are happening with the chest, palpitations or fluttering in your chest, it's actually these points over here which can help bring some relief. And quite funny, Cliff found all this information off the Boots adult travel bands, because these are what you can buy, just they're available in the shops, and it's a magnet that you put over this heart protector 6 point that you can wear when you're traveling. So I mean, I've been hearing about them since I was little, so I think they've been around for a very long time, and it's just really quite funny that even in Boots, they're talking about balancing the yin and the yang qualities of the body. Some people believe it to affect health. So yeah, these some people are, it might be in your mind, but it might be real. So, but it seems to work. And I'm going to also talk about another point, which is so calming, and especially, and also for your middle burner as well as your upper burner, because it's a really calming point. And it's called pericardium 8, or another word for that is heart protector 8, and it's right in the middle of your palm. And so this is this is a wonderful point to just press if you are feeling like, I noticed that it's actually quite nice if you're in a busy environment, because you can just do it very discreetly. You can just have one hand in the other and just press this point. I think it's wonderful to press on when children are feeling overwhelmed, or for babies, it's a really nice point. Like if the baby's crying and is in distress, you can just stroke this point on their palm. It works a charm. And it's called the Palace of Labor in Chinese medicine, Lao Gong, and it's for physical, mental, and spiritual revitalization. So the idea is that it gives you energy, but it also is very calming. It regulates the heart and it also clears the brain. So this is this feeling of like feeling a bit manic or feeling a bit full. Pressing this point can really bring calm. So I feel like this is just an everyday point. It's also a nice point to press before you're going to sleep, just to balance out, clear your mind, feel like you're resetting yourself for the night. You can wake up fresh the next day. So other things that are really wonderful for the middle burner is giving like gentle massage to the area. So I'm going to stop sharing this. So wonderful things for the middle burner is having your two hands, so this Lao Gong, one over the other, a little bit higher, and it's starting from the top and just going in a clockwise motion around the middle burner, because it's often that things can get stuck here, especially around your diaphragm, and so getting the energy moving is the perfect way to unbind it or to free it. You can do this as many times as you like. It's just a really nice way just to focus, to take your mind into this space, into the middle burner. And now that we know about this Lao Gong point, this heart protector 8, just bringing those qualities into it, calming the mind. And with the Chinese, they say, wherever your attention goes, that's where the qi flows. That's where the energy flows. Wherever the energy flows, that's where your blood flows. So even by taking our attention to this middle burner, warming it up, bringing our attention there, already making a change. Giving a bit of attention to your sides and your back. It's a really nice idea to also rub your back, especially with these kidneys. And again, the loveliest thing as well for the middle burner is twisting from side to side. So we're going to spend a little bit more time doing that. So just turning from side to side to begin with. And it's this motion of feeling like your spine is getting longer, so your sacrum is sinking further down to the earth, and your head is coming ever so slightly up towards the sky. So these two opposing directions, creating more space in your vertebrae, more space in your middle burner, allowing the breath to come even further down. You can even imagine it's like a rinsing motion in your spine as we're doing these movements. It's almost like we're rinsing any stuck energy, moving it out the way, creating more space, more flow. See what feels comfortable. You might want to look over your shoulder as you turn to the side. Okay, coming to stillness. How's everybody doing? Okay. So now, as you know, I love to do a little bit of breath work. We are going to just do another little technique, and it is, we're going to do 20 connected breaths, okay? So this is a wonderful exercise to bring you back in your body. You can do it at any time, and you know, if you are feeling a bit out of sorts, or you're in a busy environment and you just want to ground yourself, it's literally, you can just call on it any time. So what we're going to do is very, very simple. We're going to take 4 short breaths in our lungs in the top here, and then we take 1 long breath, and that's going to come all the way down to your lower abdomen. So 4 short, and then the 5th one is going to be long. So we're going to do that 4 times. So we're going to do, it's called 20 connected breaths. So 4 short, in just bringing it up into your chest, and then the last one is going to be long. We're going to breathe all the way down to your lower abdomen and then breathe out. Okay, so like I said, you can do this at any time. Such a nice exercise. So first of all, just coming into your body. Just for now, we're just going to relax our hips. Just taking a moment to find that stillness. Okay, so let's try this out. Okay, so 4 short breaths into your chest, 1 long into your lower abdomen. Okay, ready? And again, 4 short and 1 long. And our third set, 4 short and 1 long. And the last time, 4 short in your chest and 1 into the abdomen. And coming back to your easy breath. How was that? Did that change anything for you? Just notice how you feel afterwards. Just scanning into your body. Feel any difference? Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit more of what we did last time I took the class, which was connected breathing, but breathing in to the whole of your breathing mechanism. Okay, so we're going to breathe into your lower abdomen, sides of your ribs, and the top of your chest. Okay, we're going to take it really easy. And I think I said last time, sometimes you can feel lightheaded when you first do it, but make sure that you are either lying down or sitting down, that you're feeling very relaxed and grounded wherever you are. And the idea is that we're not going to breathe into your lower abdomen, then the sides of your ribs and your chest. It's like this horizontal breath where we breathe into all the areas at the same time. And we're just going to do it for not too long, but we will do it for a little time just to release so we can get into that motion. And the idea is we can think about it like a wave or think about it like a circle. And we're not going to pause. So you're not going to pause on the inhale or the exhale. We're not going to hold the breath. So the idea is that we're also going to send messages to your body, and it's easy to let go because we're not holding on. It's easy to let go. And that also that we are safe to take this full breath. I know that a lot of people might find it easier just to breathe into the upper chest, or maybe only into the lower, the abdomen, but we're going to take the breath into all 3 areas, the lower abdomen, the sides of the ribs, the top of the chest. And it's really sending messages to your body that you can take everything in. That whole of life is available to you and anything is possible. So breathing into all these areas and then just letting it go, feeling a really easy, relaxed breath. So we're not straining the breath. We're not doing that. We're not like bringing it in and pushing it out. It's very easy. So when we strain the breath, we're actually telling the body that it's an effort to breathe. So we're just going to take these very gentle breaths in and out. So getting comfortable, like I said, you can lie down for this or you can sit up. Just first of all, coming into your body, just feeling your hips relaxing, feeling your knees, feeling your ankles relax, feeling your sacrum drop. And if you're sitting, you're just going to imagine the top of your head is being pulled up to the ceiling, like we were talking about earlier, having your vertebrae like a string of pearls, so it's really easy. And your shoulders are just hanging off gently. You're not holding on to any tension in your body. And we're just going to start to take this horizontal breathing. So taking some breaths into your lower abdomen, sides of your ribs and the top of your chest at the same time. Very easy breaths. How are you finding that? Is that easy or is it feeling difficult? So as soon as we reach the top of your inhale, we're just going to let it go. We're not going to hold on to it. As soon as you reach the bottom of the exhale, we're going to breathe in. So if you're finding this easy, just keep going. Breathing into your lower abdomen, the sides of your ribs, and the top of your chest. And if you're having a bit of a struggle, we're just going to isolate the areas, okay? So placing your hands, one hand either side of your navel, just here. I'm going to breathe into this. So carry on. If you're finding it easy, keep going. If not, if you're finding it difficult to breathe into all three areas, we're going to isolate them. So breathing into your lower abdomen. Imagine you're breathing in a warm, glowing light that's coming all the way down to your lower abdomen. Feeling your abdomen push away your hands as you breathe in and your tummy expands out. And then relaxing back as you breathe out. And you're going to see how much space you can breathe into this lower part of your abdomen. How far you can expand it out and contract it in on each inhale and exhale. I can hear my tummy making lots of noises as it's getting massaged on this deep inhale and exhale. And now you're going to take your hands to the sides of your ribs. So placing your hands wherever's comfortable, but you want to bring them kind of around to the side. And you want to feel them expand and contract. So on the inhale, they're going to expand outwards. On the exhale, they're going to come contracting down together. This is so wonderful. It's a really great space in between your ribs. Taking in the maximum breath. Again, imagine you're breathing in this warm, glowing light, sides of your ribs. This is really wonderful for your diaphragm. Helps release any tension you're holding in your rib cage. And then we're going to come to the top of your chest, so bringing your hands underneath your clavicle. Taking in deep breaths, bringing it all the way to the top of the chest. So this is something that I definitely wasn't doing before I started studying breath work. I was just breathing down into my lower abdomen, which is wonderful. It's nourishing your kidneys. It's nourishing your life force. But actually, it's really important to breathe all the way to the top of the chest. It really tells your body that everything is available to you. You know, you're being really generous to yourself, giving yourself the biggest breath, the most energy. Coming in, breathing all the way to the top of the chest. And you'll feel your chest pushing away your fingers. Your chest is expanding. I just imagine expanding in every direction. Might be an odd feeling if you're not used to it. You might feel a little bit lightheaded, but don't worry, as we keep breathing, this will go away. You're taking a breath to all the spaces. We're clearing out any stuck energy. And now bring your hands down to somewhere that feels comfortable. I'm going to join everybody else and we're going to go back into that horizontal breathing. So breathing into your lower abdomen, the sides of your chest, sides of your ribs and the upper chest on each inhale and releasing it on each exhale. I'm just going to do this for a few more moments. You might find areas of your body start to feel tingly or tight. That's okay. It's often where we breathe. When we're breathing in, we're bringing more energy into the body. When we're doing this, we're breathing into all the different areas. If there's an area that actually is holding on to tension, is holding on to maybe like a past trauma or an injury, then you might feel like there's a weight on your body. Like you might, if you've had if you've given birth, you might feel like a pressure over your womb space. That's very normal. It's this area that really wants to heal. So you're breathing into more energy into that space. Into your shoulders might feel achy, sides of your ribs, anything like this. It's actually very normal. And it's as you're breathing more energy into the body, bringing more energy into your body, and any areas that weren't flowing before, they will feel like a little bit heavy or like a weight. And as you breathe, you'll feel that as you keep breathing, it might feel uncomfortable, but you just keep breathing through that. That's actually when you get that relief, when you get that release. And it's almost like you're bringing it back into your body. You're allowing those areas to come to feel like they're one again, like they're one with your whole body, that they're not separate. So we're going to keep breathing, taking these easy breaths into your lower abdomen, the sides of your ribs, the top of your chest. It's connected breathing with no gaps, no pausing on the inhale or the exhale. Just this connected breathing that we did as we were a baby, before we learned to hold our breath. How's everybody doing? So just pop a little thing in the chat. Coming back to your easy breath, just let me know if there's any areas that you did feel any resistance, or if it all felt good. Just pop a little thumbs up in the chat. Just be curious to know what was your experience when you were breathing into all three areas. Great. Okay, so that always makes me feel super chilled after I've done some breath work. It's something that you can, like I said, it's like a tool that you can take wherever you go. It's a really nice way to start the day, really making sure that you're breathing into all three areas, that you're really finding it easy to let go of the breath, but that you're also taking in this full breath, really opening up your lungs, opening up the whole of your rib cage first thing in the morning. And Sonia says that upper chest feels less available. Yeah, that was definitely my experience when I started doing this. So it's like to really get into that really takes a little bit of practice, but it definitely becomes easier. And it's amazing. It really is this thing of everything, that you have it all available to you, and more than you know as well. So yeah, sending nice messages to your body. Okay, so now we're going to do some do-in. This is one of my favorite exercises. I'm sure it is for you. And if you find do-in, which is the tapping, this tapping with your fists or your palms, if you find this too stimulating, then we're going to do stroking. Okay, so we're going to use stroking. It's very gentle throughout the body. This is really wonderful for your nervous system, really calms you down. And then the tapping, I find it really, I don't know if anybody else has read the work by Peter Levine or any kind of somatic healing techniques. It's really saying to the body, like, I'm here, I'm awake, I'm with you. And as with the breath work, where we have resistance, where we feel like maybe we've cut off from some parts of the body, it's very normal, it's very natural. We do it as part of our protection mechanism, that we can dissociate from parts of our body, or that we're just not feeling so connected to it. And it's interesting that even like areas where we might find that we're holding onto a weight, it's often areas that we can be connected to feeling areas that we don't really want to pay attention to. So this is like an all body workout, sending love and affection and attention and compassion to your whole body. So it's quite nice to go into it with that intention. So like I said, if you find Do-in too stimulating, do use this other technique, which is rubbing or even just holding. You can even just hold onto different parts of your body, okay? So coming into a standing or a seated position. Can you get my whole body? Let me just tip the camera up a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, so having a little shake out after sitting down. I can feel my ankles got a little bit squashed. Okay, with the Do-in, we're going to start from the top of the body, and again, giving some attention to these meridians around the head, the top of the head, the sides. This is where your gallbladder channel runs. It can often feel tight around from the edge of your eyebrows all the way around. Like I said, if this is too stimulating, just holding or stroking, it's all wonderful, it's all good. So tapping, stimulating your face across your forehead. This is connected to your large intestine, to your colon. Just notice how this feels. And then we're going to take our fingers and we're going to pinch your eyebrows from the inside all the way to the outside. Releasing tension here. And then bringing your fingers into the middle, and we're going to just pull them across your forehead. Release those worries. The large intestine is all to do with letting go. So we're just going to, again, just tell the body it's safe to let go. Safe to release. You can let go of control. Just for these moments, allowing the body to be really relaxed. Letting go. Coming down underneath your eyes, these stomach points we've done before, which are indirect. If you're looking forward, they're just below the pupil. Pressing these points down in your face. Coming to this point, to the side of your nose. And just this corner here, just come a little bit closer. This is really wonderful. Okay, coming down across. Again, this is the large intestinal channel. It's really helpful for releasing. If you've got any sinus things, if you've got fullness in the head, these points are particularly wonderful. These stomach points and this large intestine points, coming down to your chin, and then just massaging around your jaw, starting from the top. Really releasing your jaw all the way around. Keep doing this pinching motion. Gosh, I can really feel it. Easing out tension. I'm going to come to this SCM muscle because again, this is often a place that we can notice if we're holding tension. So I quite like to just massage from the top down. And then just give it a squeeze. Notice if you're holding on, it's often like when we're tensing or we're like very focused about something. Just squeeze both sides, again just massaging from the top down. Give it a squeeze. And then we can get back to our doing. I'm going to work across the chest. This is so nice to do with a little bit of noise. Working from the middle to the sides. This vibration is so good. So good for the body. And then coming down, choosing one arm, really focusing. We've got lung points, we've got heart points across here. We've got this heart protector point. So we're going to come all the way down the midline of your arm. And you're going to find these points that we were focusing on today, heart protector 6 and heart protector 8. Go in there and coming up, back, arm, again, down these heart protector points, coming up the back, across your shoulder, chest, and then your arm, and then across your chest, the other side, other arm. These heart protector points up the back of your arm, the back of the shoulder, front of the chest, front of the arm, back of the chest, down. Down sides of your body. If you've got somebody with you, you can maybe swap and do each other's backs. If not, then you can do it for yourself. Just gentle rubbing over the kidneys. And a little dough in. And then across the top of the hips. We often hold a lot of tension, so we can use the back of your wrist or the front. Just really as much pressure as you like. Just releasing any tension, releasing any holding, especially around the sacrum also feels really good. Either side of the sacrum coming out. Sides, you've got this gallbladder 30, which is right in the middle here. And that's so wonderful to help release tension from the body, any stuck energy. Then we're going to go down the outside. So we're going to go down this midline, down the seam of your trousers. Then we're going to come up the inside seam. Okay, so down the outside. And then up the inside channel. So around the hips again, down the outside. Coming up the inside. One time. Inside. And then just having a moment to stretch or move your body in any way that any way that you want to. Just while we're here, while you're checking in, I'm feeling for some side stretches, really getting more into the ribs. Just do what feels nice for you. Have a good shake out. And then coming to sitting. So we're going to spend a little time on your feet just before we finish today. So whatever feels nice for you, but I think Doin is also nice for the feet. Get my camera angles. Yeah, so Doin on the feet is such a nice thing. Come out here. So you can take your foot with one hand and then give it a good massage. And this point here, which we love, which is kidney 1, bubbling spring, making sure it's open and able to connect with the earth. And then massaging between your toes. Stretching out your toes, giving more space between the bones of the toes. And then the same on the other side. Again, I find it really nice just to give it some doing. Wake it up as well. And then a little massage, spending attention on this kidney 1 point. Creating space between my toes, massaging the top of the foot. Space in between the toes. And then stretching out each of the toes. Okay, so I think we're done. Head to toe. How are you all doing? Let's just quickly check back in with our breath. Scanning from the top to the bottom. How is it feeling now? How is your breathing feeling? And then we're just going to check back in with our 3 burning spaces. So checking back in with your lower abdomen. How does this lower burner feel? Checking back in with your middle burner. How is that? And then into your upper chest, upper burner. How's that feeling? So for me, it's definitely changed. I was definitely a middle burner before. I forgot to mention that was definitely feeling tight for me. So I already can feel it, like my diaphragm feels way more relaxed, and so does this whole digestive area. So that worked for me. So I'm just going to check in with you guys. Let's just do one more poll before we finish. How do you feel now? Always curious to know. After we did top to toe, how are you feeling? Okay, wonderful. So far, 100% of people feel more balanced. Okay, wonderful. And I just love how easy all these techniques are. So with the shaking, with the doing, with the breath work, with pressing these very accessible and easy points, you can really change how you're feeling. And if you are still struggling and you don't feel balanced, then it's definitely a good idea to get some support, have a treatment, and I think you would definitely feel it. So sometimes we do need a little bit of outside help, but I think pretty much everybody felt that doing their own practice, these own exercises on yourself actually brought around a better feeling. So that's so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And we are going to be back next Wednesday with more points of the week and with another class. And hopefully it will be just as lovely today as it was today, because the weather is absolutely beautiful. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. Lovely to see you all on the chat, and I look forward to seeing you again. Oh, let me just pop a nice heart in the chat. Lovely. Ah, wonderful. That's so nice, Caitlin. I'm so glad this has helped you. And you'll have the recording, so if anything is useful, you can just watch it back. All right, lots of love. Have a great day. I'm going to end the session.